Brought to you by CHM, a biblically based alternative to health insurance. Learn more at chministries.org/budget.
My question is, am I in the wrong because I don't want to go on a spring break trip with my husband and daughter to visit their sick grandma?
Ooh, wow. Okay, what's the heart behind it?
Yes, you're wrong.
Is there more context
Give us more
here,
context.
or is that it?
The context is we're in baby step 2, and we had already invested about $800 to get a plane ticket for just my daughter to go out and visit Grandma. Grandma has been battling cancer for years, and she's probably on her last year. And so we definitely wanted her to spend time with her, but that's what we had discussed. And then today my husband says, well, why don't we all go? And I'm just not sure that's the right thing to do.
So he's going with her without you to see his mom.
Sounds like it. The other, it's his grandma, so my daughter's great grandma.
Okay.
And the stipulation, I guess, that's important is Grandma's willing to foot the bill to pay for our tickets.
Okay. Can she afford that?
She can.
Okay.
She's got a paid-off house. She's invested well. She's ready to spend her money. It's the end of her life. But, my thing is I'm missing out on an opportunity to earn money. When it's spring break, I'm a school teacher, and so when I'm on break, that's a great time for me to pick up extra jobs and make more money, and my son can still go to daycare. But I'm going to miss out on the opportunity to make money and pay off our debt if we go on this trip.
How much are you talking? I mean, how much can you earn in a week?
$500, $600.
How much debt are you guys in?
We've got $11,000 in a car that should be paid off by March due to cashing out a whole life plan. And then we have my husband's student loans.
How much is that?
$60,000.
Okay. So the current trajectory, when is all of this debt going to be paid off? All $71,000 with your household income?
If I continue working, then in 18 months.
Okay. And if you skip this extra week of work that would have amounted to $500, it would slow it down to 17.7 months?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and Noelle, hold on.
I just want to make sure that's really what we're talking about.
No, this has nothing to do with that. You're mad at your husband.
Yes.
Because you want to stay at home and you're having to work to pay off his student loans. Yes. Yeah. Yes. You have to get to the root of this thing. Because on its face, let me just say, you can feel however you want to feel. Your feelings are yours, and you get to do them. And there's lots of spouses that go visit family members that don't want to, but they do it. And if it's grandma's last year of her life and she's offering to pay to fly everybody to say goodbye one more time, then if you can do that, I would say do that. But you've got to address your anger. And maybe it's not wholly at your husband. Maybe it's at just life. And you love him, and you're glad you married him, and all this stuff, but it just is what it is. You need to address that because you're creating a life that you are resentful of. Does that make sense?
That sounds true.
Am I okay? So I was just gonna make sure I'm not crazy. So have that conversation with yourself and with him, because right now for him, he thinks he just figured it out. Oh, we can all go, and it's gonna be free for us.
Got it.
I mean, and if you don't want to go and you need to work and you've already committed, spring break's just a few weeks from now. If you've already committed, then say, I got to meet my commitment. And if this is the last year, we're all going to be going back anyway for the funeral, in the next year. So if that's the case, that's the case. But I'd much rather you deal with what's really going on here, which is you're stuck in a situation, having to work when you want to be home with your baby, and it's real frustrating.
Yeah.
I mean, tell me I'm bananas.
You're not.
Okay.
I think you were able to justify
even the tension in my body.
Yeah, I can hear it through the phone, man.
You've been trying to justify it by going, well, we're in debt. I could make more money. It will speed it up. And we just proved with math that it's 0.3 months of, it's really not about that. But I do think relationships are not convenient. Family is not convenient. Health crises are not convenient. And that's a part of life on the baby steps. And so we would tell you, hey, if this is really important to your family, you might need to just pause and take the trip and let it slow it down by a few weeks, and we'll make it up on the back end. But right now, I think you might need to be there for your husband.
Or the other side, if being around grandma and her family, aunts and uncles are going to be there, make you sick to your stomach, they've said ugly things about you, whatever, then have that honest conversation, because it's going to be bewildering to your husband, who doesn't know that you are this against going, or you're this frustrated with the life that you're leading, and he's not going to be able to figure out over $400 or $500 that you may earn over a spring break week. You know what I mean?
Yes, I know what you mean. I think I need to be honest with myself about where the anger is coming from and have that conversation.
There you go. And if you get to the end and you still don't want to go, don't go. But just be honest about why you're not going. And if every George, this is kind of epidemic levels of people opting out of family because they're annoying, or sometimes you just go. Sometimes you go and you sit by your husband, you sit by your wife, and you hold their hand and make sure they're not alone when they're going through a really hard moment, right? And again, you and I don't know if this grandma meant to him, if
it's hard for her husband to share this, that, hey, here's really why I want you to go.
Yeah. What I'm guessing is happening is he sees how stressed she gets and how frustrated she gets when she has to work this extra week, and he thinks he just solved it. He's like, oh, dude,
all
vacation,
expenses paid trip.
Expenses paid trip, and I get to see grandma, but we get to go to Texas. And she's like, I hate all of my life and you, and not really hate, but you know what I mean. So yeah, sometimes getting to the root of the issue is where we got to go.
Absolutely.
CHM isn't health insurance. It's a health cost-sharing ministry. Check it out for yourself at chministries.org/budget.